Hey folks, Pastor Holyoke here. It's time for Whatever Wednesday, where I play pretty much whatever I want. We're going to be playing one, maybe two demos tonight. We'll see how quick the first demo goes. Our first demo is a game called Help Will Come Tomorrow. New game. Okay, so we have 3 levels of difficulty. Resident Siberia. Resident Siberia levels of experience directed the most persistent players with the aspects of travel and telling the story is extremely demanding. More negative character traits, poor initial character conditions, less resources and animals in the taiga, ruthless renegade and Siberian weather. Survival is an optimally balanced experience with the aspects of survival and the story equally important. There's character traits and initial character conditions, average number of resources and animals in the taiga, renegade looking to give a hard time, or passenger. The passenger is the least demanding. Milder conditions for the characters, more resources and animals in the taiga, less threats and negatives from the renegades, mild weather conditions. Oh, let's do passenger for our first run. Okay, so basically our train has been attacked. And these are the last 4 people out there. We barely escaped death. Can you hear the shots? They're killing other survivors. This is a replay from Zansky Square. The Tsar supporters are opening fire to the proletarians. You're talking nonsense. They're just thugs or deserters. Don't talk so loudly because they'll hear us. We've run a long way. I think we can take a rest here. The snow will cover our footprints. Yes, we'll use the manual. The key aspect of character survival is satisfying their basic needs, showing the form of statuses. A crossed plate, a crossed fork and knife for hunger. A drop of water is thirst. A snowflake is frost. And double Z is fatigue. Each of them has its own individual effect on the character. To know them, you can hover over their icon. This character is thirsty. There's a bit of clean water in your inventory. Give it to the thirsty character. Click the left mouse button and hold to pick a line from my inventory. Okay, let's go into the character card. Do this, select one of the portraits on the panel on the left. Character card is a place where all the most important information about each character is located. The window is divided into 3 tabs. We'll start from discussing the characters section. Each character only has one of 3 factions. They're either aristocratical, revolutionary, or neutral. In this case, our guy here, Gregory Dimitrov, is neutral. Faction affiliation define the initial attitude of the characters to each other and affects the course of the night conversations around the campfire. So my guess is, ironically enough, pro-country, anti-country, or meh. Traits of the character's unique features may appear in the game as results of conversations, actions, or events. They can have both positive and negative impact on the outcome of the character's actions in the camp. Health will determine how many elements the character can endure. Decrease of health to 0 means death. Morale means how much conflict and sacrifice a character can endure. High morale makes it possible to regain action points, lost in the morning by negative statuses. The morale level can be increased by performing actions corresponding to the character and conducting dialogues in a manner consistent with their beliefs and nature of the character. Current character statuses also are visible on the card. In addition to the basic statuses discussed earlier, the game has a number of special statuses, indicating among others disease, injuries, or mental states of the characters. Some of them may have time limit number of days. Exceptional statuses may prevent from leaving the camp or block some actions. Action points, which are the 3/3 he has, represent the strength and readiness of the character to act. They are used as a result of taking actions in the camp, such as removing snow, building, creating items, cooking, exploring, or caring for other characters. A fully functional character will start the day with 3 points. Every 2 negative statuses reduces this number by 1. I wonder if 2 positive stats increase the number by 1. Probably not. Anyway, here's where the slots for the character's clothes is located. The quality of his performance reduces the cooling of the character. The next tab is part of the character card's relationship. The relationship status represents the attitude of the selected character towards other team members. Next to the portrait of a given character, there are 3 statuses. Handshake is trust, heart is friendship, and thumbs up is credit. Changes in the relationship occur during joint work and night talks. Relationships affect the quality of jointly performed actions and the course of dialogues. Trust determines how much the character believes the good intentions of the other. Increase the character spend time with each other and learn something about their past. Friendship determines how much one character likes the other and wants to spend time with them. It increases when a character performs actions together and agree during conversations. Credit determines how much one character appreciates the skills and competence of the other. It increases when the action performed by the character bring a positive effect. The last tab is the story is their story. In this section, you learn about the character. As a result of night conversations, team members get to know each other better, discovering their stories and motivations. I should now close the card. To supply the characters, we also need to take care of their camp. Within the camp, I can build 5 structures: the campfire, the shelter, the workshop, the quarantine, and the fence. Before building a new camp structure, when it is buried as a result of the weather, the action of moving snow must be carried out. Select the zone where the campfire will be built, which is here. Before we can build the camp structure, we need to clear the area where it is to be erected. To do so, I must perform the action of remove snowbank. So let's move to this overview. Each action in the game represents the action of the character. Actions include moving snow, building, making items, cooking, expeditions, and taking care of other characters. Each action is charged with a cost in the form of action points and sometimes also requires some resources. So removing the snowbank, we'll be able to build a camp structure in its place. Optional tool, using shovel gives a chance to regain the action point. Currently selecting action, removing snow is an action for a single character and it costs 1 action point. Okay, we've already read the description. This part contains the description of the currently selected action along with its effect. This represents the action requirement related to the resource. Action of removing snow does not involve any resource cost, but has space for an optional tool. Optional tool is not required for the action. However, is present in the camp. After clicking the slot, it is possible to add it to the components of the action. When using optional tools, there is a small chance of regaining the action points during the action. Erecting new structure increases the overall quality of the entire camp structure. So let's move on to performing the selected action. To do this, I must assign a character to perform the task. Action removing snow is to work for only one character. Only let's assign one of the characters available on the left. Click the character's portrait or drag and drop in the ring visible on the right. I can also use the arrows under the circles. And since we've been using him, that we don't have an auxiliary object that seems to be appropriate action. Just I click on the button at the bottom. Hang on, folks. I'll be right back. Something is going on the lower floor that I think I can deal with. Okay, folks, I'm back. What basically happened when I was making my Toy Borealis tea water, and I guess I overloaded the teapot. So anyway, let's see what happened while I was away. The action removing snow unlocks the possibility of erecting a camp structure. Each structure contains a development tree in which building individual components unlocks new types of actions and further improvements. Currently selected action and currently selected component makes it possible to perform the action of building the campfire. So the action will be performed by one or two characters. If one character undertakes construction, it will be 3 action points. For the same work performed by 2 characters, cost for each will be equal to 1 action point. Relationships between the characters undertaking the action together have an impact on the quality and success of the performed work. Let's select the pair option to do this first. Assign one character, and the second slot appears to assign the next character. Okay, so we'll put you in. You said to as you're in the camp with protecting against frost, to better the more progress from any given day. Unlocks the option. Nice roast an animal. From the action, building a campfire, resources belonging to 2 resource groups require wood and structural elements. From the action, the proper amount of resources from the resource group should be provided, so that strength is equal to the required group strength. We click on a resource group slot in the inventory. Resources belong to the group. So we can group along with the required number to fill the group strength will appear. We must provide resources from the wood group with a total strength of 8 to the resource group slot in the inventory panel. There is filtered resources belonging to the group. As well as in the snow, we have found 8 sticks, each with a strength of 1 in the wood group. Using all 8 per building will require the group strength we need. Select the sticks from the inventory panel and add them to the resource group slot. Resource group slot with appropriate structural material will require group strength 6. Now fill the resource slot with the appropriate resource structural material to require group strength. Wait, all requirements to perform the action have been fulfilled. The action approval button is already active. Press it to build the campfire. Okay, so this character is strong, and now we'll get tired more slowly. The campfire has now been built. As a result of the work, the relationship between the working characters has changed. Witness that the people presenting the camp were satisfied with the solid structure that was built. Hence, the credit towards the builders has increased. Along with building the camp structure, a repair option appears. The structure can be damaged as a result of weather or events. The condition of the entire structure is represented by the quality bar visible in the upper right corner. To go to the repair action, press the hammer icon next to the quality or select repair action from the action list. Now, if the campfire has been built, we can light a fire to warm up. Sometimes the fact of burning fire may be the cost of the action. Close the window. Perfect. The area of the campfire has been prepared. Removing snow, we found some resources lying in the snow. I can view them in the materials section of the inventory panel. The inventory is divided into 3 sections: food and beverages, building materials, and equipment and tools. Select materials. Select the fire, use the fallen needles from the inventory in the materials section. Click the resource icon to take it or drag it and drop in the campfire zone. I can also click the plus icon next to the campfire to show resources from the fuel group in the inventory. The characters are warmed up for now, but everything has a price. The renegades and dangerous predators moving around the area will be attracted to our camp by its visibility, which is here. The visibility of the camp, apart from the campfire level, is influenced by the number of people in the camp and the current weather. To reduce your visibility, I can either lower the fire by clicking the minus icon next to the campfire. It will then be reduced by 5%. Weather, apart from the impact on the visibility of the camp, affects the condition of the character chances of losing the expedition and camp structures every day, e.g. by covering them or damaging them and affecting their quality. The camp morale means how consistent, determined, and loyal are the people in the camp. Improving individual character morale and relationships during the conversations between them will increase the camp morale. Camp morale has a significant impact in the course of some events. Knowing the basics of the game, use many action points of the character. The game uses many action points of the characters. You can finish the day phase when you want. Press the button in the upper right corner to move into the night phase. It's not food, you will have to eat it. Okay, so we've unsnowed everything, but I don't see a lot else they can do. So, when not sleeping, the characters sitting by the fire have a conversation with each other. During one night, you can start 2 topics. Each topic is an opportunity to get to know the characters better, discover their traits, or change relationships between the interlocutors. Some dialogues can unlock new topics or even tasks related to the characters. Select one of the above to start a conversation. Follow. The enemies out in front is better armed and knows the area. We have to secure the area. I will determine the order of patrols and check. Does anyone have any weapons? Captain, we are not a troop of soldiers, and we will not be coming even such respectable command. The situation is turn all of us as soldiers, and the warrior need a commander. In that case, let's talk about who should take on this role. Let's talk more action. I take over the first watch, and at dawn we will look for sharp stones and metal fragments so we can sharpen the perches and arrows. Fish and truck. Do they know you as pickled cucumber? Are you asking seriously? Do you realize what situation we are in? This character likes hard stuff. When sober, they can lose morale at night. When drunk, their morale increases. Because when we're that, we're damn far from the distillery. Oh, it's gathering inside. Come on, baby. Come to your room. So we have a perfectionist. The character prefers to do things precisely. The quality of their construction is higher and often gains credit when their morale increases, making solid structures. Unfortunately, morale drops during the makeshift action, and after each small action, they have a chance to waste an additional AP. Messy. The character does not work precisely. The quality of their construction is low. His quality of construction is lower, and the credit and constantly decrease. Please return during the makeshift action. The morale increases, and after a large action, they have a chance to regain the AP they use. And let's take it to day 2. The character will be thirsty much faster. Oh, great. Ah. The shots have ceased. The renegades retrieved from the crash site so you can leave the camp safely. Send an expedition in order to obtain new resources and explore the nearby area. Press the map button in the upper left corner. Map window is the place where I will manage expeditions. It's in the first team. Press Send New Expedition button in the bottom right. Of course, it's magically in a place I can't really see. The expedition preparation window is a place where it will say who is well going to send in the field. Send expedition is the action with a cost for 1 or 2 characters equal to 1 action point per character. Dual expeditions have low risk of being lost. Current state of relationship between the characters participating in it and have both positive and negative effects on the success of the expedition. We'll say you and you. Setting our character, we add some resources from the character, their equipment and clothes. Here's dual expedition, check the relationship between the characters. For an expedition by pressing the button. The panel of current expedition is located in the bottom left. Here I can see the characters including expedition with their inventory and perform the search actions of the zone where the expedition takes place. I'm going to the camp zone that cannot be searched. Move to adjacent tiles, select one of the 6 zones located around the camp. Go clockwise. The map increases the risk of being lost. The expedition can force the member to stay overnight in the forest. Bad weather increases this risk. Apart from the move, the level of getting lost risk increases the performance of the zone searching action. Continue. Perform the zone searching action. Okay, we found. Let's take all the buttons, select those items in which you are interested in, and move the current equipment. After collecting the items, press the confirmation button at the bottom of the screen. We're going to take everything and done. So, lost also increases the level of zone to right. The higher the zone threat level, the more interested it will be the renegades will be. Whereas wild animals will avoid it. I can continue the expedition. When I decide it will be safe to return to camp, I can move it by going to the successive zones, or I press the return to camp button at the bottom right corner. Oh, let's do one more search tag. Okay, this is what I managed to find. Alas, we did not find enough to make the shelter. You're hungry. You know, awful looking man, dude. As I was trying to do the same thing, he just employed losing last for a shorter time. So he's thirsty. Oh, so this is wood. Okay. Well, at least we're getting a campfire upgraded. Okay, so now we have... Shoot, we don't have enough clay. Well, the campfire's halfway decent, I guess. Wish we could do something to shelter though. Oh, so I choose a person. Okay, so we'll send you in. Okay, so if anyone's thirsty, we have water now. Good, because he actually is. It quenches thirst. It quenches thirst. I'm going to throw another pine cone on the fire. And we'll call it a day. Dear comrades in injury, I don't believe our situation is serious. The character has received extended education and can share useful curiosities and conversations. Given the weather and our current diet, we won't survive long without fresh meat and aspirin. We are at risk of scurvy, and a simple cold will weaken our bodies. Aspirin. This damn German chemistry. This blanking German chemistry. You look like a scholar, so you know what primitive people do. And they died not even 30 years old on average. Because of runny nose? Sometimes also because of scurvy. Must you be such a pessimist? Do you really think we will all die? Everyone I don't know, I can see the beginning of scurvy in me. Oh, my tooth is moving. You hit your jaw on the floor during the accident. The shock during the collision may have caused traumas, which will manifest themselves soon. Impact from the front soldier. Me? I'm not a soldier. The beast, perhaps. The farmhand would not be in the train compartment. I mean, there's a situation that would be very happy to have any military person in the bus. This is the past. My division ceased to exist. Once they come to power, they will withdraw all troops from the front, and when the idea is instilled in the turn to other countries, no war will be necessary. Do you think they will come to power without a fight? Pacifist. This character avoids quarrels and will try to ease any disputes. The war will probably never end. Only the battlefields and banners change. Go to the devil with all of this. End of the day summary now coming in. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. Okay, well, I think took a slight hit. We're heading into day 3. Hello again, if you don't do them sooner. Along with him writing these conditions. Okay, okay. Throw some of these into the fire. Oh, that's a poisonous mushroom. That's not good. Okay, so everyone needs water. So that means we need to have. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have these. I'm gonna have one of these two. I'm gonna send these two guys out for an expedition. Let's try the Renegades. That's a game hunt. So we're going to head here. Take everything. Again, take everything. I think that is about as much as we can do without causing a major problem. Let's get back to camp. Okay, so you filter water. Let's get 2 people to filter water quick. There, that gave us some water to work with. Can we get the shelter up and running? Affirmative. Now we need to send somebody to take care of the shelter. We'll send you and you to tag team. Let's go. Lucky, a bit of luck can get you out of many troubles. Okay, so we now have a basic line. So now we have a simple lining. The lining makes it possible to rest and reduce the fatigue of the characters. Additionally, each character in the camp regenerates the fatigue for every unused action point. Our next step is going to be we're probably going to go for, I'm thinking next is going to be solid, simple cover. Actually, what would take the least amount to do? Solid blankets, an isolated bed. Okay, so you guys now have a bed. Nice. That's definitely an improvement. Everyone's down to 1 action point. You're hungry. Let's see what we can do for food. What is this? Okay, so who's the tired one? I'll refer to the tired ones. It's you. Okay, so you. Actually, you're thirsty. So let's get some water first. We'll get some water. Okay, so he's resting. Everyone else is still hungry. Water for you, water for you. We have enough to give everyone a blast of water. Hallucinate. Fails character destroys half of resources. Yeah, well, we're not going to probably do anything else today. Just get everyone fed. Okay, well, the fire is, I think, okay, so next we're going to work on the palisade, I think. Well, that's for construction. Wow, the palisade requires a lot of wood and structure, so... Actually, for that one we should use the 5. Which we don't have enough for. So let's... Okay, so we need more clay in order to get the palisade constructed. Let's punch it into night 3. We're saving the disaster and avoid the slaughter. It's unthinkable. Do you know if anyone else has survived? The train was derailed with dynamite shortly afterwards. The attackers split one of the rear cars where the soldiers were traveling. They must have known where to hit. Then they shot the survivors without mercy. Those who survived could hide in the winter or somewhere in the wreck. We must stay together until help arrives. We're in the middle of the Siberian taiga without food, surrounded by thugs going after us. How much longer can we survive in such conditions? 1 to 2 days at the most. In that case, let's hope help will come tomorrow. Yeah. The tracks in this section have been built recently. Every few dozen bursts, there should be 100 workers who were cutting down the railroad tiles. Okay, so we just had to go there within a dozen bursts, right? So if you want to, if you want to finish and do a decent job, you might know it's worth checking the tracks. Okay. There's no loggers left for the tracks. The mile markers on one of the tiles should tell us where to look for the workshop. This doesn't affect the relationship between the characters and the morale both. So they can improve the rest of the team. Select one of the answers. Now you're talking. So let's check the tracks immediately. Such a fool. The equipment has been left in. You want just now? I talk all the time and nobody's listening to me. Okay, so I have to look for the woodcutters marking on the railway decks. I'll have 7 days. We should probably send an expedition out tomorrow. We got about 12 minutes. I think we can do one more day, and then if help doesn't come, then we are done. Oh, never mind. Congratulations. You have managed to survive 3 days of Siberian Wasteland. Thank you for playing our demo. It actually was a very cool demo. Unfortunately, they make these screens. A lot of the Kickstarter things are out of commission. For example, the other game we were going to demo tonight also mentions its Kickstarter campaign, but its Kickstarter ended in December. So still, that was Help will come tomorrow. So since we only have about 12 minutes, I don't really see a point in going hightail into the other game. So this is Pastor Holywolf reminding you that every game brings joy to your heart. You play it. I'll see you Monday for Lives Changed by the Gospel and for Minecraft Monday. And until then, I am out of here. I will run the credits in the meantime while we end the stream.